Anyone who watches the very first episodes of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic will undoubtedly come across a number of intriguing coincidences directed by Celestia. Not only was Twilight reading a book about Nightmare Moon less than a day before her return, but we also saw Celestia sending Twilight to Ponyville to meet up with the other heads of the events there, who just happened to be the destined bearers of the elements of harmony. The series opener ends with Celestia saying, "I knew you could do it." And even beyond those first episodes, there are a number of cases where the Sun Alicorn seems to know more than she is really letting on. Of course, we do see that she has some premonitions through dreams, as evidenced by the Season 4 finale, where she somehow knew about T-Rex. But there have also been a number of occasions where she isn't able to predict what will happen. So what is it about Celestia that gives her this inconsistent foresight? Well, today I would like to propose some theories, headcanon, and even fanfiction ideas that might explain how she could have come to this knowledge. Many of you who have been watching my channel for a while just might remember a video I made explaining my own headcanon about Twilight going far back in time and actually giving Celestia some knowledge about the future. I'll post a link below for any of you who wish to check out that original project, as it goes into much greater detail about what I hope would happen. It begins with the idea that Twilight Sparkle will one day have a desire to meet her idol, Starswirl Bearded. In addition, the Celestia of the present warns Twilight that there was a critical event in the far past, which Twilight needed to take part in. Now, while I only introduced the idea in my previous video, today I would like to expand upon it. Instead of having Twilight go far into the past to the time of the first hearthwarming Eve on her own, let's tweak that idea a bit and say that all of the main six and Spike are sent into the distant past, to a time when the three pony tribes were still deeply divided. Now, the sight of the main six traveling together would be shocking to this ancient society, and perhaps even dangerous. So, inevitably, the main six would end up getting separated from each other. Now, if we compare the tribal leaders to those of the corresponding ponies of the main six, we see some uncanny similarities. For example, Princess Platinum bears quite a similarity to Rarity in not only looks but also demeanor. This also holds true for Commander Hurricane and Chancellor Puddinghead. So let's say for a moment that Twilight and Rarity are traveling together with Spike in tow when they come across the Unicorn tribe and Rarity is actually mistaken for Princess Platinum. Now, of course, we could have some comedy of error elements thrown into the story here, or perhaps even have Princess Platinum kidnapped by a local dragon, forcing Rarity to take her place among the Unicorn tribe for a time, while Twilight and Spike go off to the rescue. After all, Spike has always wanted to be a knight in shining armor, and this would give him a chance to save a princess who looks very nearly like the pony he's had a crush on. However, what I'd like to propose is that none of these tribal leaders have an assistant as of yet, and it is Twilight who discovers that she must play the part of Clover the Clever, making sure that she has hidden her wings, well, under, say, a plain brown cloak, which would cover the fact that she is an alicorn. This would also lead Applejack to become Smart Cookie and Fluttershy to play as Private Pansy. At the same time, it is clear that the figureheads themselves would not be played by Rarity, Pinkie Pie, nor Rainbow Dash, as history shows that they had deep animosity toward each other, which wouldn't have happened if the main six had taken those roles. So if all of the main six and Spike were to go back into the distant past, then Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, and Rarity would have to be working behind the scenes to influence the three tribes towards reconciliation. Furthermore, it is clear that both Celestia and Luna were not present during the events that lead up to the first hearthwarming Eve. Either they were off doing their own thing, or they hadn't been born yet. Now, what would all this have to do with Celestia's uncanny foresight? Well, there is much more I want to explain in part 2 as we go through the events of the first hearthwarming Eve. In the meantime, though, I would like to hear your thoughts. Would it make sense for Twilight to go back in time to meet with her idol, Starswirl the Bearded? Do you believe the rest of the main six and Spike would follow her there? Given the similarities between the tribal leaders and some of the main six, do you suppose one could be mistaken for the other? And how would the main six work behind the scenes to improve relations among the divided tribes? I would like to hear your thoughts on these ideas, and stay tuned for the completion of these theories and headcanons in a following video. Until next time, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.